Yeah, I would sort of liken it to maybe Lewis Hamilton ringing you up and asking you to drive him around in his car a little bit. You know, it's almost at the level where you just go, wow. But I also, because he had such a good relationship with him, you know, I was excited about the prospect. You know, it was Dorton, and we laugh about it now when we meet up and chat. You know, like obviously it was my first role from finishing as a player to go into a club. I'd had experience at helping out at places, and to go in, and we laugh because I used to go in and say to Les, you know, he's going to be 6 weeks, and Les, when I go out with Mark on the board, he'd be 10. You know, or he'd be 2, and then I'd have to go back in and say, no, he's going to be another 4. Les would say, it's all right, I've already worked that out. So, you know, again, no, it was such for me, I couldn't have asked for a better sort of mentor or learning curve for me starting out in a new career pathway than with Les. And, you know, he's so knowledgeable in that area, such an extensive background of working at, you know, really top level at the, you know, when we were in there. And yeah, it was tough though, you know. As I say, I used to call him like Obi-Wan, you know, like the Jedi Master type of thing. She'd go in, get a little bit of, ask a bit of advice, and he was great. You know, I've got tons and tons of time and respect for Les for how he was with me.
There must have been some players during that time who were an absolute nightmare to give physio treatment to. I'm thinking of one Jamaican international in particular who I imagine was pretty hard to work with.
Do you know what? He was, I was warned about him when I first come out because he was going to be, and he was absolutely brilliant. He just, we just sort of hit it off, me and Goody, and he was great. I couldn't, you know, you just had to find a way of getting the best out of him. And luckily enough, maybe the way I am or whatever, I managed to find that. And he was, I could see how he could have been difficult for many other people, but I don't know whether with it being me being young and coming in, just being a player and sort of having a similar outlook and mentality at the time, as you were maybe closer to the players in age than you were to the staff. So your rapport with them was pretty good. And yeah, I just thought he was a real unique character, but what a player. What, you know, I used to, you'd watch him in awe, you know, he'd turn up, you just have to manage him, and then he'd go and play the way, you know, he cruised through the game, wouldn't he? And look, the best player at times. I've not trained all week.
I used to walk through, they used to have the media conferences in the COP, and the gyms or used to be in the COP, and you'd walk through on a Monday morning or a Thursday morning, and Goody would just be there going at a very sedentary pace on the exercise bike. And then he'd rock up on a Saturday and he'd put in an absolute Titanic performance. Did you play against him when you came back with Doncaster?
You know,
because he must have been a nightmare to play against.
I played against Goody when he was at Hull, and I remember coming off, and I think I had to stick both my feet in a bucket of ice where he'd stood on them, kicked them, the backs of my calves as I did, and he wouldn't say, normally during the game you'd have a little bit with the centre half, or you give, and he wouldn't say a word to me. I don't know whether he might have actually been a left back then for that game. Yeah, I think he might have been. So I had to, they beat us about 5-2, but I remember that night I had to ice, I think, from my hips down, I think needed icing, but no, he was. I don't know whether he played in the game on the Easter Monday. I might have got lucky that
day. Some other players I want to ask you about in terms of physio treatment, because there were some odd things that happened, I guess, during your time at Tranmere. Firstly, obviously your nephew James Wallace, coming in. One, did you have a hand in that transfer? And two, he obviously got that horrific knee injury, and I wonder how that you dealt with that.
Yeah, I had. Well, I sort of obviously mentioned that his time at Everton was his career was sort of maybe ready for a different step. So I had I think I might have put his name forward and stuff like. Or when I think we got him on loan first, possibly, did we? Yeah, I think I might have mentioned about him on loan, and I think Les and or John McMahon was keen as well, and we got him in, and obviously he was phenomenal, absolutely. You know, you're sitting there watching him, especially that year when we started the season the way we did. You were watching him proud as punch to see him out there basically running it, and at that point you're just thinking, wow, if he carries on like this, he's not only are we going to the championship, but he's going. But you know, you could see him going all the way the way he was playing at that time.